From the bustling megacities of the East to the quiet contemplation of Western academic halls, one ancient name reverberates with undiminished power: Confucius. For over 2,500 years, his teachings have shaped the moral fabric of a civilization, representing billions of lives, influencing everything from family dynamics to imperial governance. To truly understand China, its enduring values, and the very essence of its people, one must understand Confucius. This documentary will embark on a profound journey, exploring not only the historical origins of his revolutionary ideas, but also their startling modern relevance, revealing how the wisdom of an ancient sage can still illuminate the path to a happier, more harmonious you. Imagine a world engulfed in chaos. The year is 500 BCE, and ancient China, once unified under the Zhou dynasty, has fractured into warring states. The air is thick with the dust of marching armies, the cries of the displaced, and the despair of a populace yearning for stability. This was the spring and autumn period, a time of unprecedented social upheaval and moral decay. Bronze ritual vessels, once symbols of order, now lay shattered. Aristocrats squabbled over power, commoners suffered under oppressive regimes, and traditional values eroded faster than a riverbank in a flood. Life was brutal, unpredictable, and often short. In this crucible of conflict, amidst the clang of weapons and the whisper of despair, a profound question echoed across the land. How can humanity find order in chaos and purpose in suffering? How can we live together? It was into this tumultuous world that Confucius, Master Kong, or Confucius as he is known in the West, was born. The exact date is debated, but tradition places it around 551 BCE in the small state of Lu, in what is now Shandong province. His birth was not one of privilege. His father, a minor official and warrior, died when Confucius was young, leaving his mother to raise him in poverty. The scent of poverty, the struggle for daily sustenance, would forever shape his empathy for the common person. He was, by all accounts, a diligent and eager student, driven by an insatiable curiosity. He studied the ancient rites, music, history, and poetry, disciplines that were then the domain of the aristocracy. He learned the 6 arts: rites, music, archery, charioteering, calligraphy, and mathematics, excelling in each. But it was not merely academic pursuit that defined him. He observed the suffering around him, the breakdown of social bonds, and a deep sense of injustice. Professor Li Wei, a cultural historian specializing in early Chinese thought, notes, Confucius was not born into a golden age. He was born into a fractured world, and his philosophy was a direct response to that fragmentation. He saw the decay and sought to rebuild society from the ground up, starting with the individual. His early life was marked by a series of minor official positions, managing granaries, overseeing livestock, roles that brought him into direct contact with the daily lives and struggles of ordinary people. These experiences cemented his belief that true governance stemmed not from force, but from moral example. A pivotal moment, perhaps apocryphal but deeply illustrative, tells of Confucius, while a young man witnessing a duke executing a minister for a minor offense. The arbitrary nature of power, the injustice, must have seared itself into his consciousness, fueling his lifelong quest for a just and benevolent society. He became a teacher, gathering around him a loyal band of disciples, wandering from state to state, offering his counsel to rulers, hoping to implement his vision of a moral government. Though often rebuffed, his commitment never wavered. The dust of the road, the chill of unheated halls, the occasional hunger pangs were the constant companions of his journey, Yet his conviction remained unwavering. He was a man deeply rooted in the past, yet profoundly forward-looking, seeking to revive the golden age of the early Zhou by applying its principles to his chaotic present. Confucius's genius lay in his ability to distill complex observations about human nature and society into actionable principles. He didn't preach abstract theology. He offered a practical roadmap for living a good life, a life of purpose and happiness. Among his vast teachings, 7 stand out as particularly potent for cultivating a happier you. 1. Ren, benevolence, humaneness. The character for Ren is a radical combination of person, Ren, and tu, signifying the ideal relationship between two people. It's the core of Confucian philosophy, often translated as benevolence, humaneness, or compassion. It's not just a feeling, but an active virtue, an outward expression of inner goodness. As Dr. Chen Ling, a contemporary philosopher and author, explains, think of Ren as the ultimate empathy. It's the capacity to truly feel for others, to understand their struggles, and to act with their well-being in mind. It's about seeing yourself in others and others in yourself. Confucius famously said, "Do not do to others what you do not want done to yourself. Jisuo bu yu, wu shi yu ren." This is the negative formulation of the golden rule, but Ren goes further, implying a proactive desire to uplift and benefit others. Imagine a community where every individual strives to embody Ren. Disputes would dissolve, cooperation would flourish, and a sense of shared humanity would prevail. Historically, Ren was the ideal for a ruler, a benevolent king who governed with the people's welfare at heart, not with tyranny. Today, in bustling Chinese cities, you see Ren in action when neighbors help each other, when businesses prioritize ethical practices, or when families care for their elderly with devotion. Li, propriety, ritual, etiquette. Li refers to rites, rituals, etiquette, and proper conduct. It's the outward expression of Ren, the structured way in which human interactions should unfold to maintain harmony and respect. The character itself depicts a ritual vessel, emphasizing its connection to ancient ceremonies. Professor Li Wei elaborates, "Many mistakenly see Li as rigid rules, but Confucius saw it as a spiritual dance, a way to channel our inner Ren into graceful, respectful interactions. It's about knowing your place in society, not in a hierarchical sense, but in a way that fosters mutual respect and understanding. From bowing to elders to the protocol of a tea ceremony, Li provides the framework for social order. It's about showing deference, expressing gratitude, and navigating complex social situations with grace. In ancient China, Li governed everything from imperial court ceremonies to village festivals. It provided a sense of predictability and order in a chaotic world. Even today, in modern China, the emphasis on polite greetings, respecting elders, and appropriate behavior in public spaces reflects the enduring influence of Li. It's about making others feel comfortable and valued, a powerful tool for personal happiness and harmonious relationships. Yi, righteousness, morality. Yi is about doing what is morally right, even when it's difficult or inconvenient. It's the sense of justice and integrity that guides one's actions. The character shows a lamb representing sacrifice or purity over suggesting that righteousness involves subordinating personal desire to moral imperatives. Confucius taught that a junzi, a noble person, always acts with wai, choosing the path of integrity over personal gain. The superior person understands why. The inferior person understands profit, Junzi yu yu yi, Shaoren yu yu li. This principle was crucial in a time of rampant corruption and self-interest. It asks us to consider the ethical implications of our choices, to stand up for what is right and to live with unwavering moral conviction. Think of a business leader choosing ethical labor practices over higher profits, or an individual returning a lost wallet despite no one watching. These are acts guided by Gei. It's about aligning your actions with your deepest values, leading to a profound sense of self-respect and inner peace. So see, wisdom, knowledge. See is wisdom not just intellectual knowledge, but the practical ability to apply principles to real-life situations. It involves understanding people, situations, and the consequences of actions. The character combines to know, ji, with sun, ri, and mouth, ku, suggesting knowledge gained through observation and communication. Confucius emphasized learning and continuous self-cultivation as the path to wisdom. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. Wisdom, in the Confucian sense, is not about accumulating facts, but about discerning the right path, making sound judgments, and understanding the interconnectedness of things. It's about learning from experience, from history, and from others, then applying that learning to live a more effective and meaningful life. A wise person knows when to speak and when to be silent, when to act and when to wait. Shin, trustworthiness, fidelity. Shin refers to trustworthiness, faithfulness, and integrity. It's about being true to your word and reliable in your dealings with others. The character is a combination of person, ren, and word, yan, literally a person's word. Dr. Chen Ling highlights that in a society where contracts were often verbal, Shin was the bedrock of all relationships, from personal friendships to state alliances. If you couldn't trust someone's word, society itself would crumble. Confucius believed that without trustworthiness, a person is nothing. Without Nushintis, I do not know how a man can get along. Renner Wushin, Bujichikaye. This principle is vital for building strong relationships, whether in families, friendships, or business. When you are trustworthy, others feel safe and secure in their interactions with you, fostering deeper connections and reducing anxiety. It's about consistency between your words and your actions. Xiao. Filial piety. Xiao is the virtue of reverence and respect for one's parents and elders. It's the foundational block of Confucian society, starting within the family unit. The character depicts an old man, Lao, being supported by a child, Zi. Professor Li Wei points out, Confucius saw the family as the microcosm of the state. If order and harmony could be established within the family through Xiao, then it could naturally extend to the larger society. Filial piety involves caring for parents, respecting their wishes, and honoring their memory. It's not blind obedience, but a deep sense of gratitude and responsibility. In ancient China, it was the ultimate virtue, extending even beyond death through ancestral veneration. Today, while practices may adapt, the core value of caring for and respecting elders remains profoundly important in Chinese culture. It provides a sense of continuity, belonging, and intergenerational support, contributing significantly to one's emotional well-being. Junzi, the noble person, exemplary person. The Junzi, often translated as the superior person or exemplary person, is Confucius's ideal human being. It's not a title of nobility by birth, but a moral attainment through self-cultivation. The character literally means ruler's son, but Confucius redefined it to mean a person of noble character, regardless of social status. Dr. Chen Ling emphasizes, the Junzi is the embodiment of all the other virtues. It's the goal of Confucian self-cultivation. It's not about being perfect, but about striving for perfection, constantly learning and always acting with Ren, Li, Yi, Ji, and Jin. The Junzi is characterized by humility, integrity, self-discipline, and a constant desire for self-improvement. They are not concerned with trivial matters or personal gain, but with upholding moral principles and serving society. They are calm in adversity and principled in their actions. The pursuit of becoming a Junzi provides a lifelong purpose, a journey of continuous growth that leads to profound personal satisfaction and a positive impact on the world around them. Confucius's ideas initially met with skepticism by some rulers who preferred immediate military solutions, slowly began to gain traction. During his lifetime, he was a teacher, a moral compass, but largely unsuccessful in securing a high-ranking position to implement his reforms. He died around 479 BCE, believing his mission had failed. Yet his disciples, who compiled his teachings into the Analects, Lun Yu, ensured his legacy endured. The Analects became one of the most influential books in human history, shaping the moral and political landscape of China for millennia. Centuries after his death, during the Han Dynasty, 206 BCE, 220 CE, Confucianism was formally adopted as the state ideology. This was a pivotal moment. His ideas, once the musings of a wandering sage, became the bedrock of imperial governance, education, and social structure. Civil service examinations, based on Confucian classics, ensured that officials were selected not by birth, but by merit and moral understanding. Temples dedicated to Confucius, like the Grand Confucius Temple in Khufu, his birthplace, sprang up across the empire, becoming centers of learning and veneration. His teachings spread beyond China's borders, profoundly influencing Korea, Japan, and Vietnam, shaping their ethical systems, social customs, and educational philosophies. The echoes of his wisdom resonated in every family courtyard, every schoolhouse, and every imperial decree. Today, in the 21st century, the wisdom of Confucius is experiencing a remarkable resurgence, both within China and globally. After periods of criticism, particularly during the Cultural Revolution, there's a renewed appreciation for his emphasis on morality, social harmony, and personal cultivation. In education, the rigorous pursuit of knowledge and the respect for teachers deeply embedded in Chinese culture are direct descendants of Confucian ideals. The pressure for academic excellence, while sometimes intense, is rooted in the belief that education is the path to self-improvement and societal contribution. Walk through any school in China, and you'll see students diligently studying, a testament to the enduring value placed on learning, a value championed by Confucius. In business, while the pursuit of profit is undeniable, there's also a growing emphasis on ethical conduct and social responsibility, echoing the principles of Weishi, righteousness, and Xin, trustworthiness. Many Chinese companies are increasingly recognizing that long-term success is built on reputation and trust, not just short-term gains. We see this in the increasing number of corporate social responsibility initiatives and the emphasis on building strong, trusting relationships with partners and employees. Family traditions, particularly the deep respect for elders and the emphasis on filial piety, xiao, remain cornerstones of Chinese society. During festivals like Chinese New Year, millions journey back to their hometowns, a powerful display of family bonds and respect for one's roots. This tradition, dating back millennia, is a living embodiment of Confucian values. In bustling Shanghai apartments, multi-generational families live together, with children caring for their aging parents, a practice that continues to define Chinese family life. Even in government policies, there's a subtle but significant influence. The concept of a harmonious society, He Xie She Hui, a key policy objective, directly echoes Confucius's vision of social order achieved through moral cultivation and stable relationships. The emphasis on community, collective well-being, and social stability draws heavily from Confucian thought. Consider the example of the Confucius Institutes established worldwide, promoting Chinese language and culture. While sometimes controversial, their very existence speaks to a desire to share Chinese philosophy and values with a global audience. Or visit the Nishan sacred land in Khufu, near Confucius's birthplace, a sprawling complex dedicated to his philosophy, attracting scholars and tourists alike, a modern pilgrimage site for those seeking wisdom. From traditional tea ceremonies in Chengdu to the meticulous practice of calligraphy in Beijing, the threads of Confucianism are woven into the fabric of daily life. The legacy of Confucius is not confined to dusty texts or ancient temples. It breathes in the daily lives of millions. Hear the gentle hum of conversation in a Beijing park as elders practice Tai Chi, a collective pursuit of harmony and well-being. Witness the reverence in a family gathering as children serve their parents' tea, a simple act imbued with centuries of filial piety. These aren't mere rituals. They are living expressions of a philosophy that continues to offer profound answers to universal human questions. Mr. Wang, a retired schoolteacher from Shandong, spends his mornings teaching classical Chinese to local children. Confucius teaches us that true happiness comes not from what we accumulate, but from how we conduct ourselves, how we treat others, and how we cultivate our inner world. It's a path of constant learning, a path that brings peace. The bronze bells of ancient temples may have faded, but their echoes resonate in the modern quest for a meaningful life. Confucius, the wandering sage, offers us not a rigid dogma, but a flexible framework for personal growth and societal flourishing. His wisdom reminds us that happiness is not a fleeting emotion, but a state of being cultivated through benevolence, integrity, wisdom, and harmonious relationships. In a world often defined by individualism and division, Confucius's emphasis on community, empathy, and moral responsibility offers a powerful antidote. His teachings challenge us to look beyond ourselves, to cultivate our character, and to contribute to the well-being of others. They are a timeless invitation to embark on a journey of self-mastery, to become a yunzi, an exemplary person, and in doing so, to unlock a deeper, more enduring happiness. The journey towards a happier you, it turns out, began over 2.5 millennia ago, guided by the quiet wisdom of a man who simply sought to bring order to chaos and humanity to the world. And his wisdom, like a clear stream, continues to flow, nourishing lives and shaping futures.